Hey, what's up, guys? Young Bucks, old goats. I'm the goat. Thanks for joining us. We're gonna do a little 1 year anniversary show here. I got a couple of guests with me. Let me bring in original Young Buck, Jonas. What's up, Jonas? How you doing, bro?
What's going on?
Thanks for
Hey,
joining me, bro. Jonas, he could have to leave any minute now. His wife is due tomorrow, right? You told me?
yeah. Her due
So
date is tomorrow, yeah.
we might have more action than we bargained for tonight. We don't know. Let's see what happens. So, original Young Buck from back in the day, Jonas joining me. Let's see. Who else do I have with me? The oldest goat of all the goats is here with me tonight. This guy sold. He may die on the air. I got the bum with me. What's up, bum? How you doing?
How are you guys? And early congrats. Hopefully not too early to the Tank and the family there.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Do you think it's gonna happen tomorrow, bro?
Nah, I don't think so. I think Monday they'll induce her.
Has she been doing the walking and all that stuff?
I think so.
Because
I'm
you know
not
that
sure. Yeah, that's what they said.
I remember Marina with Bruno. We went, they started checking, and the guy was like, "Nah, man, go and walk, and then come back. You're not even close." And we did that, and then it was still a mission after that. But like, I know that helped. Anyways, before we get deep into everything, I got one more throwback here. Finally, the ogre has returned. What's up, ogre?
Yo, what's going on, man?
How you doing, bro?
Long time no see.
Hell yeah, man. Good to have you back on. So yeah, dude, it's like a year ago we started this thing. So there's nothing special going on tonight other than we're gonna be talking a little bit of shit. We got a couple little subjects we're gonna touch on, and whatever, dude. Just hang out, have a drink. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
First of all, I want to talk about. Yeah, I was wearing the helmet, dude. I was so surprised when I saw somebody posted something on social media. Rest in peace, and it had a Black Panther picture, and I was like, oh, they must have killed him in the comic books. Comic book death. They always kill the characters. I was like, oh, why are they doing that? And then like when I found out that the guy actually had passed away, Chadwick Boseman, I was like, wow, dude, that guy's 43, man. He's like my age. I couldn't believe it, man. He, physically fit, vibrant dude, and like, wow, man. Me and Ogre were talking about it a little bit earlier.
I did not know he was sick. I did not know he was sick, and when I read a little bit about it, because I didn't know he was sick, he's I guess been like this since 2016. Obviously, gradually getting worse, but I mean that's a testament to his will and his kind of perseverance to kind of. I guess he did that movie under those conditions.
He did a couple, yeah.
Apparently, nobody knew he was sick, right?
I didn't.
No,
I didn't know.
nobody knew, man. There were so many tweets that of people who were surprised that this was happening.
And I think I saw something that now his death tweet is the most liked tweet ever, surpassing Obama's quote from Nelson Mandela. I did not know this until recently. I read it just a little while ago.
You're talking about the tweet that announced his death?
Death, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I noticed that he was getting like very skinny and like he's starting to look sick, but I thought it was just like for movie roles or something.
Yeah. I did not notice that.
He was not as fit as he was in the Black Panther movie.
Yeah, someone said that they saw him at a convention and that he looked frail.
Yeah, man. I'm showing some pictures of him here. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the only thing I know, I mean, Black Panther was a great movie. I also enjoyed. We could check out his filmography. The Jackie Robinson movie.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
was.
know he was in that. Now I am certainly going to try to watch that. I did not know he was in that, and I hadn't seen that movie, so I think it's going to add a little more interest to it, certainly for me.
It is a pretty good movie. He does a great job. That's one of the first times I remember watching him. Let's see. Is this his filmography right here?
Marshall.
Yeah, man. The Five Bloods.
Obviously,
That was now during
Another one.
when he had it.
a lot of Marvel cinematic.
Dude, we talked about this earlier today, man. And I came to grips with something, man, that just hit me today because I was, in terms of like the comic books and stuff like that and superhero movies, and I go see them, but I don't, it's not something that I know the universe of. So Black Panther, I saw it because I want to know what people are talking about. I want to be in that pop culture, standpoint. And today, dude, like, it's hard in today's age to know what a lie is and what the truth is. A lie could be the truth and the truth can be a lie. But here we had something that was true. And I'm talking about this video that I sent Randy. This video of him talking about him tracking 2 kids who have cancer. This is 2018 when he has cancer himself. He knows he's terminal at that point, and he talks about these 2 kids. He could at any moment have said, hey, you know what? I also have cancer. He didn't make it about him. So for me, I saw that video and I was like, holy shit. We talk about being noble and being honorable, but dude, there it is in video. Proof. The guy died and he didn't, in this me culture, he didn't make it about me. He made it about those kids when he himself was dying of cancer. Dude, I gotta watch that movie again. I gotta watch that movie again on the strength of what that little clip showed me. Dude, that's a good person.
Yeah, certainly sounds that way. Yeah. Wow.
I'm trying to find the video. I don't think that I can play it well, but in case people want to look it up, can you guys hear that by any chance?
No.
Not audible?
Not audible.
All right, I'm going to call an audible on that. But you can look up the video on your own time on YouTube. I'll tell you the title. It's Chadwick Boseman gets emotional about Black Panther's culture impact. Is the video Ogre's talking about. And yeah, he talks about a couple little kids that just are waiting to watch the video, like before, they're terminal, before they pass, like waiting for a Christmas present,
they're saying that they're hanging on to watch the end of this movie, to see this movie be made. And he's like, wow, I'm in the presence of something great, that I need to build something great. He doesn't tell what everyone doesn't know is that he himself has the same problem. Dude, just blew my mind. Just blew my mind to watch that.
Especially in today's Hollywood, look at me culture, where everybody wants to nobody even knew about that, man. And
dude,
I don't remember hearing.
I'm full of more stories about this.
Yeah, it's rare that somebody doesn't kind of highlight themselves and really make it about themselves. I mean, that's what most of those, movie types do, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing anything bad about this guy ever.
No. I can't say that I have.
Really sad.
Yeah.
So rest in peace, Chadwick. Another one, I had this before this happened. Obviously, this is fresh. It just happened last night, whatever. You guys, anybody remember River Phoenix?
Yes, of course. One of my favorite movies. He's
Stand By Me?
Stand By Me.
Yep.
He did a couple of other things too that that were interesting, and he was certainly
My
up.
private
Yeah, he was up and coming. That a lot of people thought he was going to do some amazing things, and kind of an odd family. I remember seeing like a documentary on him, and they touch on his family, like they were kind of in a cult or something, and they traveled around and lived in different countries and did some panhandling and just kind of really hippie-ish kind of people. It was kind of weird.
The reason I bring him up is he would have been 50 last week, and yeah, that's one of the things I read. Like they were in a cult that it still exists today under some other name, and like the lines between adults and children,
Yes.
sex were like sometimes blurred there. Like he had his first sexual experience like at a super young age, and he kind of became the like what do you call it? Like the leader of the household with even his dad around because he was bringing in the money, the movies that he did and stuff. But super up and coming actor that died too young. Let's look at his filmography real quick.
Is he in the 27 Club officially because of?
No,
I
he was
believe
23, right? He was 23 when he died.
20.
Yeah.
Okay, so no.
Yeah. Do you guys know this? I didn't know this, dude. He was all right, let's look at his filmography. I remember these are the ones I remember very well. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. He had like a kind of like a cameo there as the young Indiana Jones. Remember?
Well, he had like a series. Didn't he have a TV series called Young Indiana Jones or something?
There was a TV series called Young Indiana Jones, but I don't think he's the guy who played
Okay.
Indy. Stand By Me, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I
actually saw the Mosquito Coast. That was pretty good. It was with a little weird with Harrison Ford, but not a horrible movie.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, it's probably something he was used to, right? His family moves out to the jungle and is kind of weird scenario. I guess I think his father was like a doctor or something, or a research scientist.
Yeah, sounds like something he'd be used to. Absolutely. I saw this thing the other day, Explorers. Actually, I saw it last night with the kids. Anybody ever seen this thing?
Is that the one where they go into space?
Yes.
That was pretty cool, actually. When I saw it as a kid, that is.
I wouldn't recommend it now as an adult.
Yeah, I don't know how that holds up now.
But like a lot of people said, this guy would have been like better than Johnny Depp and better than Ethan Hawke is in that movie too. Like he would have been better than all of them. A lot of people say, but you never know. Do you know who gave him the concoction that he drank on the day that he died?
It wasn't Johnny Depp owned the club?
Yes.
Yeah. Who gave it to him? It's certainly somebody famous.
Yes, dude, and I didn't know until just last week that I read this article. So it was in the Viper Room in Los Angeles, with Johnny Depp owned at the time. He had a band. River Phoenix also played guitar.
Yes.
And he was supposed to go on stage to play with Johnny Depp's band and another, I think he's a guitarist, famous guitarist. I'm going to tell you his real name. Maybe you know by the real name. When I read the real name, I wasn't sure. Frusciante. I think his name is John Frusciante. Also known as Flea.
Flea, yeah.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't know his real name.
So the word is he gave him some concoction, which was like a speedball that he was supposed to take like a little sip of or something and share. And he drank the whole thing.
Oh, he drank something? Oh, I thought he shot something up.
No, apparently the autopsy showed no, intravenous injection, nothing like that. Yeah.
Wow, he drank something. Wow.
A lot of people think he was a druggie, but really they say the drug use probably wasn't that he wasn't like a big abuser. He just OD'd on some shit that he didn't, he wasn't expecting,
Yeah,
which makes it even better.
I did not know that. That's interesting.
Do you know what day he died on? It's show significant.
Halloween, right?
Right, dude. Samhain.
Samhain, exactly, bro. Which makes
Yeah,
it
he
even
died on
better.
Halloween.
It was like, okay, it was the early morning leading into Halloween, right?
Yeah, I think so, if I remember the story.
Yeah, like early in the hours of after midnight so he probably went out on the 30th, and then on the 31st, early in the morning is when he died. His brother was there, Joaquin, and he died right in front of the club on the sidewalk.
Well, now we know why that guy's kind of strange. Between what his family went through, his brother's ordeal. I mean, maybe the Joker wasn't a big stretch for him.
Definitely a weird dude, right? When you see him in the award shows and stuff.
Dude, what's your feeling on the Joker movie? Did you like it? I know people are split on this one.
I thought it was pretty raw and kind of, realistic, I guess, almost to a fault, I guess. I thought it was good because it was certainly, realistic, I felt, There wasn't a lot of, superhero kind of, because even the bad guys in that whole, genre have like a backstory, and it usually becomes, kind of cartoonish, but that was all dark, man. Super dark.
That was climbing into someone's head. That was really well told, and I believed it. I believed it.
Yeah.
Did you see it, Jonas?
No, I didn't.
Me either. I haven't seen it, man. That probably is a tremendous sin with my line of
That's
work.
a shock, actually. I'm kind of shocked at you.
Yeah, I'm surprised on that one.
Yeah, because that one wasn't really like a kid one, so like I couldn't really.
No.
Oh yeah, no. This is definitely not. No.
Barely for adults. Yeah, that one's. I saw also somebody else passing away with Cliff Robertson.
Oh, dude.
The basketball player. He was
Portland Trailblazer. Yeah, dude. When Michael's shrugging, he's right behind them.
Yeah.
Great player, dude. Really,
really good player. He was a 7-time All-Star.
Only 53, man.
What did he die of?
It didn't say in the article.
Let me look that up real quick while you guys chat. I didn't know about that one.
Man.
Those Blazers teams were pretty freaking good, dude.
Yeah, I mean, their biggest thing is that Michael Jordan existed. If not, those teams probably would have been a little. That's revealed.
That's news. What was it? Lymphoma.
Oh wow.
So what's that? Cancer, right? That's a form of cancer.
Yeah, it's like in the lymph nodes or something.
Dude, so there you go. Another instance of where cancer sucks. Yet again.
Incredible, man.
Yeah.
So I didn't ask you guys, dude, because I haven't been doing this for like a while. How's everybody holding up, dude, with all this stuff? You want to go first, Tank? Me? My stuff hasn't changed that much, It is super, you want to go out and you want to do stuff and you want to visit people and you want to, that's kind of taking a toll and stuff like that. You got to get more creative with that. I know the news has been saying some of the numbers are trending down. School is weird for my kids, stuff like that. That's basically the stuff that's going on with me. So we're just adapting to the new norm. But how about you, Tank?
It's pretty been much the same for me. I never stopped working because we were already a takeout restaurant, so nothing changed for us really. Only the catering slowed down, but the only thing that sucks is we can't visit nobody. Nobody can come see my wife. Everybody wants to see her and see how she's doing, and now it's gonna suck even more with the baby because really now nobody's gonna visit or we're gonna go see anybody. So, but just holding out. Can't go out to eat, drink. Shit sucks, but it is what it is. It's for the better.
Let me ask you: is there any special? I know it's your first kid too, so like you don't have anything to compare it, but like anything that you notice special that they're doing for the pregnancy because it's during this time, like anything. I'm sure there's things out of the ordinary, but I just can't think of what
like at
they
the
are.
doctor's office and stuff like that.
Yeah, or when she goes into the hospital, or
Well, she's only gone to the doctor's office, but like after everything went down, I couldn't go to the appointments anymore. So she would just go by herself. Like I got lucky, I went, I saw the heartbeat, I heard the heartbeat, I saw the first couple of sonograms. Like her last trimester, I couldn't go at all. None of the dads could go. Only the pregnant woman.
So you know what you're having?
Sorry, bum. What?
Well,
I'm sorry. Do you know what you're having as far as a girl or boy?
yeah, a girl.
Okay.
Which
Cool.
is what's the name again?
Micaela.
Micaela. And the reason they don't want you there is obviously they're just trying to limit the amount of people. So like if another pregnant woman's there and a dad comes in, less people, less chances.
Yeah, Ashley says that they all just wait in the hallway though, so it's weird.
Yeah, they got to be careful. I get it.
Yeah. But I was lucky enough that I could go and see at least the sonogram a couple times.
Cool. How about you, bum?
Well, you know a little bit about my story. I mean, I've been home from work since mid-March. Really haven't been seeing much people in the beginning. As of late, I did see you after like 7 months, bum. I've seen some other people like in the backyard, kind of deal, very spread, social distancing and all that. But it's relatively the same thing, for the most part, isolated. Takeout food is as far as you do, when you want to eat out or something like that. But, no restaurants, no bars, no movie theaters. That's been pretty much our story. When we sort of did a vacation, it was really isolating somewhere else in another house in some other place. We went to St. Augustine. We kind of hung out there, but it was basically in a rented house somewhere else, just us, And the only thing we did was go out to the beach, open air, nobody around. So more or less the same thing, just in another place. But
does anybody know about bars? I know restaurants, I think next week are opening up with a little capacity, if I'm not mistaken. Does anybody know what the status is on bars?
No,
I haven't heard.
All right. Ogre, how about you, bro? You should know that, dude, with your line of work. Or you don't sell directly to bars, right?
Yeah, we can, but when that type of business has gone down a lot, practically all of it's gone. And but as far as bars, I think bars still serve them, I think. And I know restaurants are open. I think the bars are going to be open as well. There might be some distancing going on. But as far as me, with what I've been doing, it's been the same, but it's been rough at the same time because I'm basically here in this room all day long, and the four walls get to you. And I ended up at the very beginning of the pandemic, I ended up breaking like a fracture bone in my foot, in my leg, and I haven't been able to really walk a lot. And so I've been stuck here, and with the idea that I can't walk the dog, I can't go for leisurely type of strolls, I can't do any of that. So you start to go a little stir crazy here. And I can understand, man, when you start mentally, like you feel it creeping up on you, like kind of weird depression and shit. I can feel that stuff creeping on, and you just have to be like strong enough to just put it away for a little bit. Maybe sometimes I go to the backyard and just sit there and just look at the, whatever it is that's out there. So
Yeah.
it's been the same, but it's different, and everything changes a little bit. You go to Publix, you do the sub thing, they don't even hand you a free deli slice anymore. That's like one of those little treats that you used to get. You don't do that anymore, and they don't do this anymore. No, you lose a lot of little things, and you can't go to the theater. Like you had Bill and Ted 3 came out yesterday, right? I would have gone to the theater to go see that.
Now, where did that come out?
You could order it for like $20, like on Prime, because a new movie you'll pay like $20-$30, because you would have gone to the theater and you probably would have dropped like 40, right, to get in. So
That must have been filmed pre-corona, right?
Or yeah, and right up into it, because I've been following it. They've been filming since middle of last year.
Ogre, you talk about the four walls, and they say that one of the most uncalculated or under reported statistics are around the people that are committing suicide, have extreme depression, have had mental issues because of this lockdown and this isolation. They say that is something that is really underreported, and it's happening a lot.
And imagine if you're one of, and fortunately I haven't lost work. So imagine you just described a scenario and add without work.
Yes.
And losing benefits because you lost benefits because that just happened, right? You could start to see where people are gonna unfortunately start getting really bad thoughts, and that's a reality, man. And I think and it's something that we got to kind of address, because I think we're early in the fight back towards this, and I think we're just not thinking about it.
Yeah, and imagine if all that happens to you and you're alone, and you're like, let's say you don't really have a family, or your family's in another state, or you're not close to your family, and you're really alone, and all this happens. It has to be devastating. It has to be.
Dude, you know what's killing me? I saw a picture of a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old going to school, and you know what going to school meant for them? Being in front of a computer all day from 7:30 to 2:30. And here's this child who could benefit from playground time and being out in recess, and there's the child playing or on the computer, and they start crying, dude. And it really hit me. I was like, damn, I cannot imagine having a kindergartner in this era would be absolutely devastating, dude. That
is one version of it, and that is pretty bad. I think about my kids are a little older, so I have a 15-year-old and an 18-year-old.
I got a soon-to-be 15-year-old. So
my son had to graduate virtually. He graduated this year from high school, and he had to graduate virtually, instead of the whole family going to an auditorium, sitting in there, clapping for him. It was all done virtually, all of the things that, you did as a high school senior, those things that you look forward to, it was all gone,
It bothers me. That really bothers me.
Yeah. And then my daughter, who turned 15 this year, was supposed to have a 15th. And that whole thing got canceled, and for a girl, that's like a big deal,
So that's like the Super Bowl, You're 15 in your Latin family, and come on.
Yeah, you talk about from that 5-year-old that you mentioned, which is heartbreaking, all the way up to even the older kids. It's a big deal, man. It's a big deal.
And you're right, the 14, 15-year-olds, it's rough on them. I ended up his last school day of his middle school years was sometime in March, or I forget where they shut off, but I thought we would come back. And
Back in the day, when you got your GED, they said, "Oh, he virtually graduated." Now there's a new meaning to virtually graduating. And going back to what Olga was talking about, and YouTube, outside, dude, that's really going outside is like even just in your freaking yard, dude. It's super important, man. 'Cause, we get our vitamin D, and I heard that shit dies like instantly in the sunlight too. So like we shouldn't be scared. I went to the beach like a few weeks ago. Obviously, I was not around. We were far from as far as we could be, but like it's actually probably one of the safest places to be outside on the beach or whatever. Because from shit I've read, dies like instantly. I don't know if you guys read anything about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's why the only thing that we've done this year has all been related. Even though one of those beach trips, the other half of the people that went along, we all had separate houses. Some of them got sick, so it's not perfect, right? But yeah, the beach is probably as safe as you can get.
Real
Has
quick,
it,
go ahead, Jonas.
no, I was just gonna ask, has it affected any of you guys? Like, not necessarily that if you got it, but people that got it, or the depression. Did you get depressed? Did you go a little crazy?
guy across the street from me got it. The neighbor right across from my house got corona. Got it early, like in March. He was like one of the first people I ever knew that had it.
OG Rona.
Yeah, dude, this guy lost a lot of weight, and but it took him like 2 months to shake it. But he's older and not in like great shape. But that's the first one I know of.
How old?
We had a couple of
55. I mean, I guess that's not that old, but
Like, how many people do we know personally that have it or got it?
I know. I just found out of one today, and he was like really close to our family. We were a little distance now, but he actually passed away like 2 weeks ago because of it.
Oh shit.
He was older, like 72, but he was still working. He did a lot of construction work, so it's not like he was frail. He did have a little heart problem, but at the end, it was bad. They said he was trying to take off the tubes and whatnot. That he was tired of that shit.
Wow. Yeah, I think I've known probably 5 or 6 people, but they've all been under the age of 50. So it wasn't, life-threatening. None of them were ever in the hospital, intubated or anything like that. But yeah, like 5 or 6 people.
And they were all able to kick it pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, they had varying, I guess, symptoms, but for the most part, like, again, nobody got hospitalized and nobody was in that critical state that you see, right?
How about you? I know you said your neighbor. Any other people? Like, what?
there's somebody in the family, like really distant in the family, but they were like 85 years old and they died of corona in New Jersey a few months ago. I don't know. I've never met this person, but they're really. I mean, they're blood. So I do know of one person that's passed away, but I've never met them.
And sick over.
He's a friend.
What's that?
I said like just people that got sick, probably less than 10, I would imagine.
Yeah, easy. I think I only know 2.
Yeah, I don't know that many people. Most of the people I know through John, and then like a couple other people. So
The sick connection is through me. Got it.
I mean, I know a couple non-John people that have gotten it, but the what do they call them? The hotspots that I know were through John. And I'm just asking because the numbers were astronomical as a nation, as a county, as a city, as a state. But I always ask people that just to kind of get like a real life feeling.
Right,
I always ask people, do you know anybody that ever won the lottery?
right.
That's
And I remember you asking me very early on this. I guess when we started to, we talk about this all the time, right? And you asked me, hey, like, do you know anybody who's gotten this thing? And at the time I was like, no, man, I'm starting to think maybe this is a bunch of crap, or it's not as bad as they're saying. And then, like, as soon as it became a really bad hotspot in Florida, boom, it was like 5 or 6 people. Now, granted, those people were all interconnected. They were in the same place. They're, half of them are family. So, it's not like completely 5 or 6 people that weren't connected, but still, you go from, I don't know anybody to 5 or 6. It's pretty impressive.
Dude, how about the ventilators? Remember that in the beginning? Ventilators, 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 ventilators. The guy from New York, I need the ventilators, the ventilators. Like, you don't hear about that anymore. I even hear that, like, that might not even be that good for people.
Well, I think they've tried to stay away from getting people on there, and I guess over time they've learned other treatments and therapies to try to, get people away from the ventilators, because I guess you're like in a coma, or you're not fully there when they put you on that. I guess they gotta like hover you between life and death, really, right?
Yeah, you're pretty fucked up if you need a ventilator. Like,
you can't breathe on your own.
Exactly, but at the same time, I think they have to like sedate you to a point where you don't know all that shit's inside of you, because that would be, painful.
So that's being intubated, right? If you're on a ventilator, you're intubated, or no?
I believe so. I'm not a doctor, but I play one on this podcast. No, I mean, I think. I think.
I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Yeah, I had a great breakfast.
All right. The reason you are here, though, and Ogre brought this up too. You're a couple of my sports guys. The Ryan Fitzpatrick thing with the Dolphins, I read that a little bit. He left practice today.
Distraught, I heard.
What's that?
I heard he left distraught. He was visibly shaken, crying.
I think Ogre has the scoop.
Well, I think the scoop is that his mother died, and Brian Flores is telling him that he take all the time he needs. The season opener, I think, is something like 10, 12 days away. I don't think that he will miss the game. I think he'll be there.
Yeah, I would expect.
The guy's a trooper. I mean, the guy lives and breathes football. And has the best beard in the NFL. I mean, bar none. That beard's fantastic.
Oh, wow. They say made this opener.
Really? I would be shocked.
I would be too. I mean, I've seen those guys where, like, somebody in their family dies, like, like Monday, and then that Sunday they play,
Dude, I would be completely shocked if he doesn't play that game.
Yeah.
Damn, like that?
Oh, yeah.
What's his mother?
Probably not because you would do it, but I see a lot of athletes, like, recover quickly from these bereavements. I mean, they pretty much get it. Actually, like baseball and basketball is probably the most lenient things on like that, where they do take more time. But in football, I see people like recover pretty quickly from those things.
Plus, you have a couple of days go by, and then he starts to say, "Well, my mom will want me to play this game."
Heck, let's remember one of the most famous games that Brett Favre played. Wasn't it because his dad died that night or the night before? Or that it was like really, the guy was playing, and I think his dad had died. I mean,
2 nights before he was playing against Oakland, or was it the Los Angeles Raiders? I don't know where they were, but he was just heaving the ball, and people were making catches.
He smoked them, and it was like, I don't know if it was 24 hours or 48 hours, but that goes to your point, or I mean, it was quick turnaround. If not, like right then and there.
I say give it a few days, and he'll come with my mom would want me to play this game.
Monday night game. I remember that now too.
Dude, what's your feeling on Chris Collinsworth? I know people are like on the fence on this guy. What do you think of him as an analyst?
I like him.
I love him.
I think he's he could be annoying because he tells the truth, and people don't like that sometimes. But he's I think he's good.
He likes Tom Brady a little bit too much for my taste, but other than that, he's pretty
But
good.
then again, don't they all? I mean, which analyst really hates Tom Brady?
The only guy that I see give it to Tom Brady a little bit, and not because like if you do that on ESPN, you're probably fired soon. This guy, boxing guy, Max Kellerman, he doesn't really. I mean, he acknowledges that the guy's good, but he gives him
a football guy. Okay,
but he gives him shit a little bit.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on that thing you said real quick about baseball and basketball, bereavement. The thing is, a baseball game, a football game is worth about 7 baseball games or something like that.
Yes.
And maybe 4 basketball games. So a basketball guy who usually get a game or 2 off, football guy, unless the guy dies Saturday before your game, you've had a few days, and then what are you going to do? You probably need that escape to go out there and play. So that's probably why we don't see that much miss football games for that, I think.
Yeah, there's some, and you can make another show about this, but there's something about like unusual absences in sports. Like I've seen some, especially in baseball and in basketball, like, a guy slipped in the shower. I remember a basketball player who got bit by a spider. I mean, weird stuff that you don't see like usually in football. Weird absences that it's like, wow, okay.
Because you have time to recover,
Yeah.
You got to be out there every day, Some weird shit happens to you, it's going to get out. Football, you fuck up on Monday, you have 6 days to like cover that up, recover, and still play.
Yeah, and I guess too the nature of the game, right? Like if the game you play is like smashing into a car every play, then you're probably not gonna miss it because you get bit by a spider.
That's why the Lawrence Timmons thing was so crazy, bro. Remember that shit?
Yeah, he went AWOL.
Yeah, they couldn't fucking find him and shit. That shit was fucking crazy, dude. Dolphins will be, as of a few days ago, my notes could be outdated. Over, I know you're up to date. Dolphins were one of a handful of teams that are going to have fans in attendance. I don't know if more teams trended towards that, but as of my notes from a few days ago, I think it was like less than 5 teams.
It's a bad idea. They're doing a quarter, 25% capacity at the stadium, and it's a bad idea in many respects because you've got a hot spot here, but you also have to think about traveling players come over here, and they're like, you're putting me in a hotspot game with actual people in the stands where everyone else isn't? Yeah, man, it's something to think about.
No tailgating, I heard. I don't know if you guys heard that.
Oh, I did not know that. It's funny because I was thinking, wow, like maybe we could just tailgate and not go into the game. I guess not.
Hey, you're still a season ticket holder?
I think we deferred, right, Randy?
Yeah, they gave us an option, and they really made us sweat it out. Like they were asking for money like till 5 minutes ago, basically, and then finally they said, if you wanna not go, you could keep your seniority and sit out the season. And then they kind of finally gave us what they gave the players, basically. They let us sit out and not lose our seniority, and we could still renew next year. But at the beginning, they still wanted their money, dude. And they were like, yeah, until they say there's not a season, we want you to pay if you want to come.
So that leads to the obvious question, right, for you guys. If there's been trouble in baseball and basketball, and they're less contact than football, how the hell does football pull this off without being an utter disaster? I see a lot of shaking heads.
There's no way. only basketball is going to be successful, and they have been because of the bubble situation.
Yeah, the bubble. You're going to have a huge problem because as soon as one athlete gets on a ventilator, it shuts everything down. That's all it's going to take is just one guy. So far, we've gotten like 14 Marlins, 13 Cardinals. That's 27. So far, so good. And then there's a whole bunch of others in other sports and stuff. So all it's going to take is one athlete to be in ICU, and everyone else is going to take a shit and close down.
Well, that would be shocking because those guys are in pretty optimal shape, right?
Yeah, but you always have a guy who has an enlarged heart or some kind of weird thing that he didn't know about, and then
a coach.
That's the guy.
Or what about like that 65-year-old chain-smoking offensive line coach? You know, the guy
right? So
who isn't in good shape,
right?
Who's with the team?
How about the coach on the Dolphins that does cocaine? How about if you had that guy? Remember that guy?
he got a job.
You know, he got a job.
Yeah.
I don't remember where now.
It's Oakland.
That
Figures.
That makes sense.
Absolutely.
There you
go. I was waiting for the word of the show.
Do you remember? Not do you remember? Have you thought about this scenario? The quarterback room. I imagine that the quarterback room is not a thing that's going to exist. Imagine somebody in that quarterback room gets sick. All your quarterbacks get sick. What the fuck are you going to do then? They probably have the quarterbacks like on opposite ends of the stadium. So like they can't be in a cluster and all three get sick potentially, maybe.
Yeah, they have to be thinking about all of that. And why wouldn't that? I know quarterback is the most important position, but wouldn't you have to have that to some degree throughout the team? At least your stars in any of the positions away from their backup. So, you know, if there is a catastrophe, you don't lose your stars or you don't lose their backups.
You just wear a hazmat suit the entire week.
And then when you play, you tackle somebody, you know, and your sweat and all that stuff kind of intersects with them. I don't see how that works out in the long run. But hey, I guess too much money.
Dude, I'm going to enjoy it. I always wait for September because September brings football. For as long as it's there, I'm going to watch it.
Oh, absolutely.
Anybody kept up with basketball?
Yeah, of course. Basketball's like second favorite sport.
Somewhat. I mean, trying to keep an eye on the Heat, you know.
What's up with the Heat?
I know they swept Indiana, and then there was the protest walk-off. So outside of that's as far as I'm caught up right there to that point. So I think they started to play again yesterday.
You know, Milwaukee won today, so they closed the series, so it's official, right? Dude, I think the Heat might win in 7.
Against the Bucks? That's who they have to play?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I can't comment, dude. I don't know enough. The last game I went to, they played the Bucks and they beat them. That was a couple years ago.
Well, they won 2 out of 3 this year. The Heat have beaten the Bucks 2 out of 3, and the one time they lost, Butler wasn't playing.
I hate to get political. What's up, Eden, buddy? How you doing, man? Got Eden Nazario on the chat. He was one of my guests earlier this year. Former minor league pitcher, real estate agent. Football, brother, I don't know. We're talking about it. For one, let's take a number. How long? I say we might get a quarter into the season before like some real shit goes down. What do you say, Jonas? How far? Are we taking the whole football season?
How far what?
How far into the football season you think we're going to make it? We're going to do the whole football season?
Did probably a few games. I saw this thing where they had let like smaller cruises, like private cruises, like sail, and the same day one of the passengers had COVID. The same day that the ship took off, they found somebody with COVID on it. It was like a cruise ship in Alaska. So I don't know. There's a lot of contact in football.
That's an incubation for disease, dude. A cruise ship, basically. Bum, take a stab at.
Man, I just think the NFL is just way too much money, and I envision kind of a stop and start season where there's a flare up, they stop, they postpone, they reschedule. I think they're going to try to push on no matter what. So I think it's going to be very disjointed, but I think they'll try to finish it. Yes, the money sign's there. Yeah.
No, I was tuning in Tokyo. That's what I was doing. It was the money.
I thought you were doing the Baker Mayfield. No, not Baker Mayfield. The other Cleveland quarterback. Yeah, that guy.
Johnny Football.
Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Football. So you think they'll finish it because so much money's on the line?
I think they're going to desperately try.
What protesting, Eden? Because there's a lot of protesting going on. What protesting are you talking about? Just protesting in general, like Lives Matter and all that, or what protesting? How about you, Ogre? You think we're gonna make the whole football season?
I don't think so. I'm in a fantasy football league that has it's a pay league, and if we reach week 10 and the games are still, if the games are over, we all get refunds. But I think it might even be, I think week 6, man, when you get at least 3 turns in 3 different enemy stadiums and then 3 turns back on average. Dude, I'm telling you, all it takes is one guy on a ventilator and everybody freaks out and it's over.
I'll put it my baseball has gone through it. You mentioned it briefly, Over. You could kind of hide a couple of missed games in baseball with some double headers, play on some off days, prolong the season a little bit. My boy Eden can attest to that. There's ways to make up baseball games, but you're not going to play a double-header football game. You're not going to play with your practice squad a football game. You get into a situation where a whole team or 2 teams get an outbreak and they're out a couple weeks, and then other games are canceled because of those. Even though those other teams may not have the virus, they were going to play these teams. Dude, that could be a shitstorm really fucking fast that I don't know if they'll be able to overcome unless they just prolong the season. Okay, we're going to go another, bye weeks for the non-sick teams. It's going to be a mess, dude, I think. I don't know. As far as the protesting, dude, I hate to get political on this show because it's all about having a good time and having a couple drinks and with friends and stuff. But dude, that's gotta have led to more people getting sick, no matter what you say. It's a slippery slope because you get into our rights, and all this stuff. But more people together, more people that can get sick. It's massive.
It can't help, right? It can't help. That's for sure. There's no way it can.
It's like going to the casino or playing the lottery, right? So, like, if I'm at home all the time and I don't see anybody, I have very little chance to get sick. If I go visit you and you and you, then there's all of a sudden 3 new opportunities for me to get sick because of, just common sense, right? So,
yeah, and just to tie into what we were talking earlier about the isolation and all that, there's a lot of people who think or believe that if we weren't in this lockdown mode, then maybe these protests wouldn't even have happened or happened not as aggressively, because a lot of this, people say, is that pent up frustration of being locked down. Then you throw in the hot sauce of all the political ramifications and all the people that are pissed off about everything, plus you're locked down, and for some people believe it's also an outlet, right? Because of the conditions we are with the lockdown.
How about this? How about where are you guys on teams protesting or not playing the games because of some of the stuff that's happened. Like, again, I don't like to get political and all that, but I sometimes wonder, like, what does that have to do with the other, and like, really, what is that accomplishing? You know, like, did sports fans do something? Did the owners do something? You know, I get it. They want to be vocal and they have a platform, but like, sometimes I miss the point on that. Like, what does that have to do with the other, and what does it accomplish? You know, that's a question I ask myself.
Yeah,
And maybe be educated on it. Maybe I'm just like missing.
I had somebody I had that position of, hey, you know, like, why are people dragging this stuff into the games or whatever, or sports? And somebody basically told me, you know, hey, some of these people are considered role models. They're looked up, you know, to by kids and other people. So it does become about the platform, right? Where they would be irresponsible if they didn't take that platform and use it for what they believe is the right thing to do, right? And that's the strongest message that some person that could dribble a ball make is on that stage, and that's how they can get their point across, right? So whether you agree with that or not, that's a different show, maybe. But you know, certainly people believe that it would be irresponsible to not say something at that level when so many people are looking at you. So I don't know.
I get it. I don't know.
Dude, what's happening is that you've got something so egregious, so in their eyes so wrong, that basketball, which is 73% black, it's a natural outlet for you if you feel you've been systematically profiled and racially kind of, you know, put down. It's a natural sport for that to be the choice to take a stand like it's been doing. So it's yeah, and then you have with baseball, there's protesting there's games being lost, you've got unbalanced schedules. Some teams will play 60 games, others will play 55. So now you got to do half games and all that stuff. I don't think they can squeeze all that stuff in there. And in theory, if you're the baseball fan, you should be loving it. Every game is there's 60 games. Each game counts like 2.5 games of a normal baseball game. If you're a baseball junkie, you should be loving it. And I really can't get into it. That's a different show from all the things that the Marlins ownership have done. I can't get into baseball anymore.
The Marlins are in the playoffs as of right now, by the way, guys. I don't know
What's the record?
14-14, but that's good enough to get in because there's expanded.
Everybody's in.
Expanded playoff teams this year.
It's like the NHL right now.
I did not know that they're in the playoffs with that record.
Yep.
Like as a wild card.
Yes, because there's going to be multiple wild cards. I think like
it's the first two teams in every division, and then the next best two teams after that.
So we're talking 10 teams,
something like that.
Each league. So they're in right now. They're not even like there's like a couple teams before.
No, they're pretty comfortably like in the
yeah.
Wow.
Like, you know, if they lose 5 in a row, then that's, you know, obviously that goes away. So, but they're okay.
Yeah. Anything else on sports before we move on to like another subject, guys?
I've been watching.
I mean, all I'm saying is I get it. I get why the protests are happening. They have a platform to do that. And if it's something that you feel is that egregious, wouldn't you want to scream it from the hilltops that it's wrong? So I guess that's what's happening. Look, I get it, dude. I get all the things that are happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened all throughout history, too. You know, we've had other protests with other athletes and stuff. You know what? Let's move on from that. Jonas, what were you saying?
that I saw they have like video game tournaments like they have 2K and it's like a season that they're doing, I think.
Esports.
Yeah. I personally been watching a lot of Call of Duty. Like they have a championship every year. That's what I've been watching. I haven't really been watching sports.
So Jonas is a gamer.
Dude, the number one prize is $1.5 million.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with it. That's the same of you. That's the same thing as you being a fan of like Tony Hawk. So you like an individual, you like what he does, dude. Absolutely.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
People all kinds of shit. There's nothing that's like it's as big as movies, as big as TV, anything, dude. Sports, you know. Over. How much do you deal with whiskeys and bourbons at your job?
Like 60% of the things I do is whiskey and bourbons. I do a lot of wines too.
He works at a major. I don't know if you want to say who, but a major like liquor distributor.
Yeah. The most major one in the country.
John is a fan of whiskey and bourbon. He got me into it. I've been into it probably like a year or so. Jonas, I know, partakes too.
Yeah, that's my go-to now.
What's some of your favorites, Ogre?
Redbreast, Glenlivet, Maker's Mark. What are
Maker's Mark in action? Watch our Halloween episode.
Yeah, Maker's Mark is delicious. Redbreast, if you get your hands on that, that's what you want to be grabbing. That
Which
stuff
one?
is awesome. Redbreast.
Redbreast. All right.
Yeah.
That sounds
that's
nice.
a great one.
Bum gave me this last time I saw him.
Oh yeah, I've ran those. I've done those.
Really good. It's from Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, I know. I've got Buffalo Trace. I work with them.
Buffalo Trace is awesome, dude. I love it, man.
Yeah. So I tried that the first time the other day when the goat paid me a socially distant visit, and I really liked it. I actually went today to go looking for it, and I didn't find it. Last night I had some Macallan, which is my go-to from a single malt, and tonight I'm having some Woodworth Reserve.
That's a favorite of mine.
But I actually like the Buffalo Trace a little better than the Woodford now. I have to say that's why I went to go buy it.
For me, also I'm a cheap ass, so I like their price point, which is like under $40, you know, $30. You could get Buffalo Trace for under $30. And like I would pay $50 for it. If they told me tomorrow it was $50, I'd pay it because I really enjoy it. Like,
You
I
know,
don't Buffalo.
you said that it was cheap, but I didn't realize it was under $50. So yeah, now I like it even more.
Yeah, dude. Like, you can get it under $30, the 750, and you could get the whatever the next step up is from that for like 30, you know, low 30s, whatever, which is super reasonable.
So a 1.5.
Right. I bought one the other day and it was like $35.
That's like a.
It was expensive. But then when I got home, I realized, oh shit, it's a big bottle. You know, no wonder. Do you want to tell them about that experiment we did, Bum, real quick? Last time I saw you.
Well, you know, I don't know how valid it was, being that we had drank so much already, but hey, you know, for the longest time, I always been told, you know, that the Johnny Walker Blue Label was the absolute cream of the crop, right? Top notch. I personally have never really liked the Johnny Walkers. In fact, I think the whole reason I never got into whiskey earlier was because every time I tried one of those and people would say, hey, this is really good stuff, I'd try it and it just tasted like burnt mulch and I hated it. And I never really got into whiskey because of it. And then later I tried some of the single malts and I said, oh, wait, there's something here in the small batch bourbons. But I was trying to share that with with the goat, should I say, and we cracked open a bottle of Blue Label, and I don't know. You tell me, Go. What did you think about it?
Well, let me preface it by saying I had a few beers before. I had some Buffalo Trace before. I had different beers before, and then so Corona in honor of the coronavirus, I think is what you gave me when I got there. I had some Yinglings, my house beer. I had some Buffalo Trace with you, and then you said, "I want you to try Black Label." I think you did. Which you said try, and I served like a fucking full glass, so I really tried it. And then you had me try the Blue Label.
Yes.
Afterwards. So, preface it with all that, it was already kind of, my palate was probably not as it should for that type of tasting.
It was sharp.
What's a Black Label run right now at the store? 40, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not like 30.
Mid to upper 40s, the Black Label, depending where you go and the size and all that.
Red's the cheaper, under 30 probably. And then Blue Labels, you're getting close to $200, right?
Depending on where you go.
Yeah, where you get it.
Yeah.
I did not, again, I'm a fucking cheap guy, dude, all right? I like a good deal. I did not see the value between the Black Label and the Blue. And I also, if I want to take it a step further, I was like, I'd rather buy, maybe some of the ones we were talking about before on the bourbon. Or the Macallan. The Macallan that you got me on to is really good.
I think the Macallan and the Glenfiddich, I think, yes, sir. Very nice. I think I think they blow away the Johnny Walkers. And the other thing that we were shocked is for whatever reason, I thought that the Blue Label was Johnny Walker single malt, and it isn't. It's still a blended whiskey, which was kind of shocking because I thought a $200 bottle would be, not blended, and sure enough, it was. It comes in a hell of a package, though, right, Red? It's pretty nice.
Beautiful packaging, beautiful presentation. We saw a couple review videos when we were drinking it, and one guy said it best. This is like a nice gift for somebody, special occasion or something like that. But it's probably not like, hey man, I'm going to the liquor store, I'm gonna pick up Johnny Walker Blue. You're probably gonna pick up, I know what I'm gonna pick up. It's not like something you're always gonna drink. It's more like a gift, or a special occasion type thing. But what do you feel over about like blended and shit there? You fuck with the blended whiskey or not really? Is Ogre thinking about it or he's frozen?
Oh, me?
He's thinking about it.
I thought you were talking to Bum.
No, I asked you, what's your feeling on the blended whiskey? Do you fuck with blended whiskey or you go single malt?
I don't really mess with blended shit. It's taken me a while to just get some type of appreciation with single malt whiskey, so I don't mess with that other stuff. I'm not. I probably drink less now than I ever did in my life. Like the only times I drank was on the show.
I can't say the same. What you got there, Jonas? You showed something. I didn't see it.
Macallan.
That was a Macallan 12.
Nice. Yeah, that shit's good, man. I like that shit. Yeah. Remember when we had the Johnny Walker, White Walker, based on Game of Thrones that you have it in the freezer and shit?
Yeah.
That was pretty good, man. I kind of enjoyed that, actually.
I actually have a bottle of Blue Label, too. My wife got it for my birthday. But, I don't know, dude.
That's kind of like what that's for, I think.
I liked it, dude. For sure, it's not I'm gonna go pick up a bottle.
I'm not saying it's bad. It's not.
No,
bad.
right. I don't know. You guys, like you said, you already had a couple drinks in. To me, dude, that I drink that first and then I switch to something else, bro. I fucking go from that to Jack Daniels. Cause I don't know, it's a lot of money, so I'm gonna get drunk either way, right?
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, I had that bottle that I ran into was probably the greatest deal in the world. I was actually on a cruise, and it was like the second night before it ends, and they try to kind of get rid of like all their merchandise and stuff, especially the liquor, and it's also duty free. And they had the Johnny Walker Blues for $75.
Ooh,
And
dude.
like I mentioned, at the time, I had hated whiskey because of all my experiences. But I knew that it was expensive and that was a great deal. So I just got one bottle, and then you could have gotten two per customer. I got one. At least I got that.
Hook it up next time, bro.
Dude, I saw it at BJ's for 200. I thought that was a good ass deal.
Yeah, and I had that thing in my house for the longest time. That was years ago, and we cracked it open a week or so back. But yeah, I'm not thoroughly impressed by it based on the amount of money you pay for it.
Well, when he cracked it open, he goes, "Here, the best you'll ever have." And when I drank it, I go, "Yeah, I'm gonna find it hard to pay $200." So it was cool to try it and everything. I can say I tried it now, but I don't see myself running.
I don't know if you guys know the YouTuber PewDiePie. He's pretty big. He's one of the only two YouTubers with 100 million subscribers. He's a gamer. He got big during Minecraft when that first came out.
I know Ninja.
That's Fortnite. He's nowhere near where PewDiePie is.
This guy's bigger than Ninja.
Yeah, but he's
a millionaire.
Yeah, this guy has a lot of money.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He did this thing where he tried a $80 scotch and a $700 scotch, and whatever. He was blinded, and that's what he likes to drink. He was blindfolded, and he said that the 71 was better, and whatever. He did his little research, and it turned out that it's actually a cheap scotch from somewhere. I forget the country, but they just rebranded over here and they sell it for $700. There's probably like a $60. Like, he has a YouTube video on it.
If it's Scotch, it has to be
from Ireland,
Scotland, right? For sure. Like it's.
No, I don't know. I forget where he said, but he has a whole YouTube video on it. Like, he's like, I did. It's like that. I think it's called that $70 scotch versus $700 scotch or something like that. And after he did that video, he did another one where he explains everything that he looked it up and stuff. But I found that crazy.
Dude, more money doesn't always equal better, in anything. A lot of times it's brand name, brand loyalty, You remember, dude, when we were in junior high and stuff, the clothes, people wanted that.
Yeah.
It's on the back of their jeans, or that, I'm really dating myself, that Z Cavaricci in the front or whatever. They probably weren't as good as a pair of fucking Lee dungarees,
Yeah, I do wonder though, if I like Macallan 12 year, how is that 25?
You're gonna have to like that better, right? But the price
Dude,
is
that's
not
crazy.
Like exponentially more.
And you're getting
how much is that?
And you get less because you have a barrel that's 12 years. That whiskey's there for 12 years, and when you go to 25 years, you're gonna see that same barrel is holding a lot less. It evaporates and gets really condensed. They call that angel share, that little bit that goes away. So as the years go on, the barrel, instead of the barrel being like half full, now it's a quarter full, and all you're selling is that little quarter, and you're selling it for jacked up prices because it took 25 years to get that.
Wow.
It evaporates just like the money that you spend.
I did not know exactly that it evaporates, but that makes perfect sense because they gotta make their money.
We had the pictures side by side. You see, as the years go, the amount of liquor that is in an unopened barrel gets smaller and smaller and smaller. They have a window, so you can actually see how it's evaporating. And then at the end of 25 years, all you're left with is a quarter. 3/4 of it disappeared.
So that's why it's not, if it's a 12-year and a 25-year, it's not just double the price. It's
because
5, 6
it's
times the
more
price.
It's more concentrated. It's sweeter. It hits your palate better. A 12-year tastes fine. A 25-year tastes amazing.
I did try the Macallan 20 something. I think it was a 25. I don't think they have a 20. And a glass about this much, right? I think it was like $27 for just that glass of whiskey or scotch.
That'd be a waste on me right now. After I've drank what I drank today, that would be just a total waste.
What is that running, the bottle of the 25?
I think the bottle's like $1,200. Something in that range.
I might have that $27 drink one day, but I'm not buying that $1,200 bottle.
Yeah, that's what I said. I wanted to taste this. It was. I don't even remember because
that's not bad. Where at?
I think it was at a cruise ship too.
I went to.
I don't remember it. That's why I say I'd love to try it. I don't remember trying it that night.
I went to Texas to Brazil one time, and I think the Blue Label glass was like 55.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I went with gold.
I was trying to find some pictures Olger sent me of Tombstone. I love Tombstone the movie. I know likes it too, as does Olger. Olger got the opportunity to visit there this year. Tell us about that, bro.
Yeah, it's a step back in time. The roads are closed off, so the gravel, the way it is, it's pretty true to it. But you go in there, and I went in there in the middle of the pandemic, right when Florida and Arizona were at the peak. Like I did the flight in the whole 9, and I had the town to myself. Basically, I walked these streets all just to myself, and I went to the Birdcage, which is an infamous brothel theater. And I went into that, and I had the place to myself. I had a conversation with the guy who right now manages it, which I thought was really cool. He was just telling me all these old stories that he hears people walking around the room, and he's had people whisper his name in his ear, and that he can hear women's high heels and stuff.
Was this an operating brothel or?
In 1881, it was.
I mean, when you went.
No, that wasn't the case, man.
Damn it.
Just check. All right.
So I was at the OK Corral. I was at the gunfight. And the bullet holes are still in the walls. I took a picture of that. I didn't send that over. That's where Clanton's buried there. That's the actual gravesite. That right there.
Clanton, McClary.
And I forget the other one, but those are all from the October 23rd, 1881 battle. That was all there. But I'm telling you, man, you go there. I went to the saloon. I went to the saloon and ordered a whiskey because I had to do that if you're in Tombstone. And they have Tombstone playing on the TVs in the bar. And I imagine they're playing that all 24/7. But and it's cash only, just like the old days. There's no credit cards in that saloon. So it was really cool, man. It's just exactly as you picture it there. And that theater with all the craziness going on inside of it was pretty freaking amazing. Yeah, I was standing right there at that. You go into the site and they have a whole kind of a series of museum path cut out where the old carts, the old carriages and the funeral cars and stuff like that. I mean, they're actually still parked out in the front. I mean, it's literally going back in time. It was amazing. I may go back later on this year and go back and do the trip again.
But it's like where they shot a movie.
No, this is the Old West. This from 1881. And by the way, that Birdcage Theater is the last original. That right there, Birdcage Theater is the last original building in Tombstone. So when you walk into it, it's like, and you have people the with the corsets, the girls, the everything pushed up. They're working outside, but they work at the Birdcage. But really cool place, man. And you go in there, check out all the different shops, and everybody's so in tune with the Old West. But this was a real Old West silver mining town, a legit like time capsule. That you just go in there and you're taken back to like and they even have the silver mines that you can visit. But I couldn't, unfortunately, I couldn't visit them. I was had a leg issue with that I suffered, a couple months ago, so I couldn't go down the steps. But I missed out on that. I may go back and check it out because I just found it so interesting. I thought it was a really, really cool place.
So how do you go? I'm sorry, Tank.
No, you're good.
You go. Is there a neighboring town that you kind of go to and then drive there, or is that a place you go straight to and you're able?
No, I landed in the airport at Phoenix and drove 2 hours to get there.
Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to know. So you were staying in Phoenix?
Yeah. I rented a car and did the trip.
Is that the play? If you want to go to Tombstone, you go to Phoenix and then you visit Tombstone. Is that the play?
No, you could probably fly into Tucson, which is like 30 minutes away. That would have been better. But I was in Phoenix for a reason.
But there's nothing around Tombstone, I assume. Like there's no. It's desert, right?
It's desert. There's a neighboring town called Brisbee or something like that. There's a neighboring town, but it's cactuses, it's rolling deserts, it's rock formations, it's all those things.
Tank, I had a question.
Yeah.
So this has nothing to do with the movie with Kurt Russell and Sam Elliott.
Yes,
this
that
is
movie.
just.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
The movie Tombstone takes place in this. It's a fictionalized version of this real town from the real Old West, which is a real silver mining town, which the guy Kurt Russell played, Wyatt Earp, really went to. So the movie is, it's not like a documentary by any stretch of the imagination. It's based on life events and a real town.
Oh, so this is just like it's just a town that never updated, that stayed the same way. Like that's the whole idea of going, or it's to go to see this place where they shot this movie?
I think the town is as it was, right? Primarily, or did they rebuild the town to look as it did?
Well, not all the buildings are original. I think there's only the Birdcage. There was a great fire in 19-something that burned most of the buildings. So a lot of what you see there is kind of rebuilt, but rebuilt to make it look like it did back then. The streets are still gravel. Saloons, they used to have like 64 of them. They only have one. So a lot of things have changed, but for the most part, it still has the same feel. When you walk through it, it feels like you're in the Old West. It's
like that's the idea of going, is to feel like you're in the Old West.
The selling point is that it's an Old West town.
Yeah.
One of the few left.
The original West.
Was the movie filmed there? Do we know that? I don't know if we know that.
I don't know that.
Maybe the movie was filmed in Hollywood and they built it up to look like the real place. This place
I feel like I gotta check now. I don't know that.
No, okay. No, that's pretty cool.
Now check out this. There was the longest poker game ever played, continuous. This poker game didn't stop. The longest poker game in history occurred at the Birdcage Theater. The game went on for 8 years, 5 months, and 3 days. Continuous. 24/7.
With the same players?
No. This is how it worked. You had to do $1,000 buy-in, right? And there was a waiting list. So say 6 people are playing and someone drops out. Now your $1,000 buy-in kicks in. Someone races out on a horse to go get you.
Wow.
They're still playing. They come in, you come in, and you play as long as you have money and as long as you're there. This game never stopped. 24/7, rain or shine. 8 years, 5 months, 3 days. I heard it so many times when I was there that I remember.
I did that. That's a good one.
Who participated?
I have a photo of that table, the very table where the game went on for 8 years, 5 months, and 3 days.
Anybody that we would know that participated in this game?
Oh, dude, like everyone. Basically, everyone that was in every character that was in Tombstone was at that table.
I assume Doc Holliday.
Yeah. His name is listed as one of the folks that was on the table.
Wow.
So what other famous Western town? I mean, Dodge City. There's Tombstone. I mean, there's not a lot of as famous as Tombstone and maybe Dodge City, but you don't even hear a lot about Dodge City. Other than wasn't Wyatt Earp at some point in Dodge City?
That's where he made his
Right.
his name.
So, aside from those two, I mean, I really don't know of many others or remember.
You have to remember too. A lot of these guys were on the run, so to speak. You know, a lot of the cowboys, illegal guys. So robbing trains here. City-wise, though, you may be right. Those may be the two most famous ones. But there was a lot of, when we did that Western episode, Olga, remember, a lot of dudes out of Wisconsin.
Yeah, we had a list. We had a list. I don't remember it.
Yes, we did have a list of the most famous towns. Some were in Wisconsin. Even San Francisco, not maybe San Francisco was one, but in California there was a lot of.
California, I would think so.
Dude, I would absolutely love to visit Tombstone one day, and I think I would fucking like Arizona in general, dude. I would probably dig that place.
Yeah, I've been to Tucson, the city, but not Tombstone. And I've been when I was in Vegas, and we took a tour from Vegas to go see the Grand Canyon. That's obviously Arizona, but I've never been to Tombstone. That would be really cool.
Vegas to Grand Canyon's like about 7 hours, like 6 hours, something like that.
Yeah, I remember it was like five or six.
It's a long drive.
Yes, and in between there, I think we stopped or on the way it was the Hoover Dam, and then the ride to Arizona. That was that was longer. Obviously, I think it may have been like 5 or 6 hours total.
It's
it was like
36 hours from here. I did it one time.
Oh wow! To the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, well, I didn't drive, but I went on a road trip from here to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah,
it was cool.
I'd love to go there one day too.
Grand Canyon looks so different. Like you can take a photo of it, and you'll never capture it the way it looks with your eyes.
Yeah, bro.
Never capture it.
What he just said, what Orgers just said, is like dead on. I mean, to this day, that is the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
It's amazing. And you sit there and you're looking at it going, I want to take a photo of this, and you look at your screen and it's like it doesn't match up.
It is so big that it looks fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, the distance.
One to the other.
Would you guys go again?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to be able to take my kids.
It's from dude.
I went, but I went during winter time, so I got to see snow and all that.
Dude, it gets cold at night. Were you there at night?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's like 15 degrees.
This is almost prehistoric in some way.
That's how it looks, but from one end of the horizon to the other.
Yes, that is it right there. You got to understand. I mean, it's 18 miles wide, like 5,000 feet deep, 253 miles long. It's just outrageous. It looks fake.
Dude, we went down on a hike that we weren't planning to do to go. They told us there was a spring down there, and it was frozen, but we were going to go, and dude, we didn't even make it. People were coming up, when we were going down with backpacks and fucking walking sticks, and dude, they were They're like, yeah, you still got a long way to go, but
Well-
we ended up turning around.
When I
People
went, it was the summer.
died
It was actually August, and I remember I just, we just kind of walked around the top rim, and I remember that we saw signs there where people could actually rent donkeys that go
Yes.
paths. And at that time, they weren't renting them out because it was flash flood season, and apparently, if you're at the basin, any little rain will cause like a flash flood that could easily sweep you away. So they weren't renting the donkeys. But man, I don't know if I'd get on a donkey and go down those treacherous paths on a donkey.
And that photo, Randy, go back one photo. That is legit how it is. You stand on the edge of a cliff and it's a straight fall, dude. I can see how people are taking photos and lose their balance.
Yeah, I gotta tell you,
I have a picture kind of like that.
I never ventured out and then
I couldn't do it.
They didn't have a handrail.
It had nothing. There was nothing holding.
Yeah, it has nothing. Dude, you could slip and that's it. You die.
I've never been. I want to go, but you guys have all been. Would you describe it? Because when I look at the pictures, I think of like mountains in reverse. I don't know if you understand. Like,
yeah, flat at top, pointing to the bottom.
It almost looked like if you were to flip some mountains upside down, and then you're looking at the peaks, and it looks like mountains, but going the other way.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, 5,000 feet deep.
It is. Does that? I'm not a geologist, obviously, but I wonder if that place has changed just in our lifetime, maybe its shape and form.
No, movement and erosion is so slow there, bro. There's like, it used to be that there was a rolling river like millions of years ago that carved out that whole area, but geologically speaking, dude, there's not much going on there anymore.
Well, the Colorado River goes through it, right?
Does it? But does it flow freely?
Well, probably not what it used to. I assume that it must have created that initially, and it was much bigger at some point. But I'll tell you, it almost looks, for those conspiracy theorists about the moon and all that, if you go there, that looks fake.
It's like a painting.
It looks so impressive
that it can't be real.
Yeah.
And
what you said about not like the horizon, when you try to see the end, like the end of it, you don't see it.
It's like looking at an ocean, probably.
Yeah.
Now, I guess a nice play would be you go Vegas, Area 51, Grand Canyon, and maybe down to Arizona if you want to really.
I did Vegas, I did the Hoover Dam, and then I did the Grand Canyon. Is what I did. I did not do Area 51 when I was there.
I'd love to do that. All right, almost gonna wrap it up. We were talking about guy stuff earlier with whiskey and stuff. One of my hobbies, and I kind of got into it now again recently, is cars. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Anybody a car guy here?
I certainly was more when I was, a young buck many moons ago. Certainly growing up as a teenager and early adulthood, that was the thing, right? Having your car, that was the whole thing, right?
Absolutely.
Randy, can you see me sharing the screen?
How do I do that? Maybe. Yes, I got you right here. I'm gonna add you to the stream. Nice, bro.
Dude, look at that.
Hell yeah. And I like your.
Where's the her?
Dude, I couldn't do that, bro. I couldn't do that.
I cannot do that. That is way too courageous, brother.
Is that your brother?
Yeah.
I commend you. Nice shot, but I couldn't do it.
That's a cool pick, man.
Dude, that's incredible.
I need a handrail or two.
I can't do that.
So here's the question, guy. If money or anything else money, space, whatever. Give me 2 cars. You could have whatever car you want. Money's no object, whatever. It doesn't matter. Or anything else. 2 cars. What are you buying? What are you getting? Any era.
Wow.
You guys know?
Well,
I know
I mean,
one for sure for me.
I rented a Mercedes-Benz E300, which I know is like kind of like the lower end and I love that car, dude. That was amazing. And so that's had me in with the juice of like, because I drive an old car right now. Like I paid for it and it's like 10 years old. And I think I should treat myself to a car at some point.
I'm trying to share my screen so I can show that.
So if for me, the old car that I want to get would be a Shelby Cobra.
Is this it, Ogre? One of your cars right here?
Yeah, but I would probably go with like a little more, because that's like a lower end, I think, on their product line. But man, I drove a silver gray one. That thing on the inside, I could have slept in it while I was driving. It was amazing.
Shelby Cobra bum?
Yeah, at least one of those I'd have to have.
Here's my thing with the Shelby Cobra. I'm not feeling too safe with just this little bar right here.
There's nothing about safety here, brother.
No, that car is nice, dude.
This is the old wives' tale that the passenger, what was it? You put a $500 bill in the visor of the passenger side, and by the time you step on the gas full power, they could not reach over and get the $500 bill, whatever the myth behind that is, because this car is so powerful. But yeah, I'd have to have one of these.
Yeah, this is definitely like a fucking real car collectors. I don't even know what these run nowadays. But
Dude, is that the car James Dean died in?
No, his was I think was a Porsche. I don't want to say it was a Carrera, but I think it was a Porsche, the one James Dean died. Might want to check that, bro.
Let's look that up real quick. It's a similar looking vehicle.
Yes.
It's a Porsche.
All of these cars, I believe, are the Roadster configuration. Wow.
Dude, you heard the story about this, that they took parts from this very car and they sold them to other, and they incorporated it into other cars, and then those cars had accidents, and like this car is completely cursed.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, look at it, dude. If you get into an accident, there's not much.
It's the same idea. It's a Roadster. There's no protection there.
I'll go T-tops, bro. That's as far as I'll go, but I need to have something there. Jonas, you want to go, or should I give one of mine?
I'll do the Ferrari 458 Italia.
Let's take a look at this thing. Is this it right here?
Yeah.
I wonder how much this shit cost. That's gotta be
high six figures, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
400.
Yeah, I think around there.
That's a house.
You guys really went up and upped it when you said money was no object, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my unattainable dream car right there.
Yeah, I think mine is maybe, well, the kits get pretty expensive on those Shelbys, but.
Look, in the Mercedes realm, I like this, dude. Not one of my cars to pick, but this thing, it's a 4-door sedan, but I think it makes like 500 horsepower. Well, that's a station wagon version. They only made this for like 4 years. E55
yeah, that's pretty cool.
AMG compressor, which is pretty badass. But this is, I would probably choose this thing.
Oh,
If I could get
Barracuda. I gotta tell you, out of all the muscle cars, this has to be one I rarely see.
Dude, isn't this General Lee or no?
no
This is a Barracuda, right?
Yeah.
Plymouth Cuda,
General Lee was a Charger, no?
Dodge
Yeah.
Charger.
Yeah.
See if they have a picture from the front, because this thing literally looks like a fucking Barracuda when you look at it. Look at that. Look at that front end.
Wait a minute. Though this is a Barracuda, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I have only seen this car. That's the most famous configuration that I've seen of this car, and I've never seen this car out in the street. I've only seen it in pictures and in I once went to a car show and they had it.
It's one of the most expensive muscle cars you can
It
buy.
has to be because I've never seen it driving in the street. And I'm old. And I would have seen this car probably when it was around that I don't remember seeing it.
But dude, didn't they kill it with the grill? Look at that shit, dude.
What year was this car made?
Like 70, 71 is the most desirable ones.
Yeah, I was like 4 years old.
I don't know how often they made it. How many years? I know 70, 71 is like the main.
Yeah, that's a badass car, man.
And this is the one that Ogre was talking about. It's a 1970,
That's the General.
and that is a badass car too. That's probably that'd probably be my number 2.
It does remind me of the Roadrunner. Those I did see a few times. Wasn't that a Hemi too?
Yeah, because that was Plymouth. You know, Mopar, Dodge, Plymouth, Jeep Eagle. Those people were all together.
Had the big swish tail in the back is the one I always saw with the tail.
I think that's the Superbird, which is like this
There
one.
it is.
That's the King. Dinoco.
Here you go, from Cars.
Shit.
Superbird.
Man, when they built a lot of these cars, in a lot of places there weren't even speed limits, and the places they did have them were almost every speed limit was like 65 miles an hour everywhere. Now you see that mainly in the highway now, right? Back then it was like everywhere.
That's a very expensive car too.
That was a Challenger.
Yeah, they made it look like a Superbird. This must be some concept or some shit.
Yeah, they can't pull it off from that.
No, dude, this is like, why were these cars so much cooler? Why? I know modern cars are cool too, but like, what is it about 1968 to 71 that they just fucking nailed it with these type of cars?
Wow, that thing had pop-up lights. That I don't remember.
You guys ever heard of this one? AMC Rebel Machine.
No.
AMC doesn't exist anymore. They made a couple cool cars. This was one of them.
Now they make movie theaters.
Yeah, now you could go watch movies or not go watch movies there.
Or their cable channel.
Or they're
That lime green with the black top in a lot of these muscle cars. I mean, now you see that and you'd probably say, "Oh, that guy's, whatever." But that is a bad car, man.
Yeah, when I see these, I'm like, that's super cool, but I don't know if I could drive around in that color scheme. But yeah, it does look cool.
Yeah, exactly. You don't feel you could pull that one off, huh?
But you can appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any wet dreams about other cars?
I like the Nissan GTR.
What year?
You could put like the 2020 is nice. You could put that one.
Something like that.
That's the new Skyline. Yeah.
I'll tell you, I was in the dealer the other day. I was looking at cars for my son, and I saw an Acura, the NSX, the latest one.
The new ones.
I didn't know that thing was that expensive. It's like 200 grand.
Yeah.
It's outrageous.
That just came out again, right? They have been gone for a bunch of years.
Yeah, they have been gone for a while.
The old NSX is nice too.
Yeah, they had
this one that looks like an i8.
I saw something like this. Yeah, it was like 185, and then they had another one for like 206.
What is the one that we all love from our youth?
Like 90s, 92 probably.
Mr. Wolf had one in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Remember that?
What, a Corvette?
No, an NXS.
NSX.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, dude. After he dropped off at the junkyard.
I've only seen one of each in person.
The home's 11 minutes away. I'll be there in 8.
Yeah. Car.
Wow, I don't remember it was an NSX.
Yeah. They show it from the back. Show the back of it.
I've seen that movie 5 million times, and I don't remember that.
The Viper. That's it right there. That's the screenshot of the video of the movie.
Yes. Now it is clear as day. It's Alzheimer's setting in.
Coming back to you. Of that elk is the Dodge Viper of that era.
Dude, what was Jazz?
What was what?
What was Jazz? In the Transformers, Jazz. He was what?
A Nissan, maybe? But I want to see the car. Show me the car. What was the car? Is that it?
That's a Pontiac.
I don't know. That doesn't.
Martini Porsche 934.
No, there you go.
Okay, one of them had like it wasn't a symbol.
Yes, maybe that's what they used in the movie because they changed some of them around.
It had like a.
That's right.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
That's definitely a Porsche.
Yeah. I think this is like from the G1 cartoon, and then maybe in the movie they switched it to a different car.
Dude, that Transformer was bad as fuck.
I do remember liking some of the Miami Vice. The Ferrari Daytona Spider was a very unique looking Ferrari. Didn't like that from the old Miami Vice time.
Something like that?
Yeah. No, that's more like it. That was me growing up. I thought that was a badass car back then.
So you
just saw it right now and kind of backed off on it.
Well, the red one looked shitty as hell. It looked like a crap, but
really that one?
That one doesn't look too hot, but the old black one.
Yeah, that one's cool.
From the side, it doesn't look that good.
No, with a little, Phil Collins playing in the back made that car look a lot better.
You're a fan of killing yourself if the car rolls over, I see, because all these cars you like don't have a roof.
Yes, no, but yeah, a lot of these cars would not be would be good in Miami traffic. There's no question about that.
In the Miami Heat, maybe.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna show you a car. You tell me yay or nay.
He later had a Ferrari Testarossa. That was bad too.
They had all kind of cars, dude. What do you guys think about something like this?
The old Firebird. You know, I got to tell you, I like the old ones, the 70s, better than any of the modern ones.
You feeling this, Jonas, or no?
Nah.
Too much plastic.
The Firehawk. This is the Firehawk. That was
Never even heard of that.
Is that a Pontiac?
Yeah, which is defunct. You probably
Nope.
like Knight Rider version.
Which one was the one that their selling point was that it was made of fiberglass?
Well, the Corvette
Well-
is famously all fiberglass.
It was a Pontiac. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I don't even like that year so much. I kind of like the older, that they still kind of look muscly back in the, like the 70s and stuff.
Come on, dude. That's Michael Knight's car, bro.
Yeah, screw that guy.
That thing's badass.
That's David Hasselhoff.
But it was about the car, not about him. So you're like a 70s era.
Well, I'm an old bum.
You're something
Yeah,
like
and no, yeah, I kind of like those better.
the Screaming Chicken.
That's just speaking to my oldness.
Nah, I like them, dude. They're badass.
Dude.
And then the Trans Ams, like, you know, Smokey and the Bandit. Can't go wrong with that black and gold Trans Am.
For sure. That's iconic.
Do you guys remember the Fiero?
Yeah, bro. Those things you can't
That was
fuck
a
with, dude.
two-seater Pontiac, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor man's Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Yep. That would catch fire.
Yeah, they would catch fire like crazy. My boy had one of these, like this, white, just like this.
Oh man, dude. Taking me back.
Flashbacks.
Yeah, mid 80s.
Poor
Kind
man's
of nice.
When it came out, it was a kind of a cool little car. I remember.
Yeah. Literally catches on fire.
literally, dude. They catch on fire.
Pinto.
A Pinto, yeah, was also known.
Show up Pinto.
Okay, so then we start going into ugliest cars of all time.
Okay, Miata.
How about a Pacer?
Is that Dodge?
I think it is.
Dude, there's some cars that are like, damn, how did that get through the yeah, this will so.
I think this is when America was getting their ass kicked with cars.
Oh, dude.
Movie Cars. This is like one of the fucked up cars that they're all like fucked up.
Yeah, Rusties.
And see if you see this car from behind. It was really.
That's where, yeah.
That looks like the car I used to draw as a kid.
Damn, you're all over the place there.
I don't know. I just looked up Dodge Pacer.
There it is. Look,
That's
that's
one.
horrific.
Come on.
That is terrible.
Hey,
It's
but
a turtle.
you're getting good vision on the cars behind you for sure.
Wow, dude.
The people in the back are really getting a good view of things.
Yeah. For sure.
And then the Pinto, which would explode, pretty ugly too. I think it goes in the opposite direction and like kills. Like it had the big window too. Look at that thing.
Jesus, I never seen a window like that on a car for the hatchback.
It is literally a window that opens.
So you
Yeah,
escape from the fire.
We also had the color brown in the rotation, which I think was a huge mistake.
They would add brown to any ugly car, I think, on purpose.
What was the
all over the place.
one of the more recent ones is the Nissan Cube or the Juke.
Oh, dude.
I don't even know what that is.
It's ugly, is what it is. That cube is nasty.
It looks like a fish
Yeah,
tank.
bro.
Oh yeah,
Dude.
it looks like a milk truck.
The other side has the whole window.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gross. It's gross, dude. What was the other one you said?
The Juke.
Nissan?
Yeah.
Get into that clown car look.
Not as bad.
No, a little bit more
Still-
modern, but not much better.
Look at those headlights on the hood, though. That's crazy.
What's the point of those?
Okay, let me turn it around. The worst car you ever had. Let's start there.
I've only had a few.
Bob, I think I know yours.
Worst?
Dodge LeBaron. Correct me if I'm wrong.
A LeBaron? No.
No?
I had a Dodge Shadow.
Holy shit.
But
Nobody
like
fucks
stock,
with that shit, right?
stock ugly car, or it was messed up, like the paint was bad. And
No, I had this car.
that kind of looks like an Escort.
It looks like something somebody's grandmother would have.
This is probably what it looked like most days. while he
This
was
is what
married.
I actually, you know, like in that movie They Live, where you put on the glasses, and you see the truth. This is what I would see when I would put on those glasses. I would see this.
Look, your initials are on the car. This is actually your car right here that we're looking at.
Did you pick up girls in it though?
You know what? Because I had a car, and that was a big commodity. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure that they probably weren't the best looking, being that I had a Dodge Shadow.
This is my first car, and I actually like it.
Damn, it kind of looked like a Grand National.
It was. The body was on the Grand National. My mom had this car, and they gave it to me when I graduated high school. It looked nothing like this. It was crashed over here. The paint was fucked up. I learned about parts of cars that I never knew existed, repairing it. It was like every month, dude, I had a car payment with repairs. 1987 Buick Regal.
Now, it's weird because my first car, my aunt gave it to me, and it was a 79 Camaro. So I started real strong. But somewhere down the road, I ended up in a Dodge Shadow.
How about you?
First,
Shittiest car you ever had?
Dude, my first car, the 77 Corolla, right?
With the hole in
The
the
whole.
that's nice though.
It was a good feature. It came in handy.
1977?
Yeah, it was a 77 Corolla.
But where was the hole?
Behind me in the floor panel, I would see the street from a hole.
Oh, dangerous during high rain flooding then.
Yeah, that thing was a real piece
Dropping
of
things that you didn't want other people to find.
It was
Yeah.
great to get rid of fast food bags.
Dude, it had an 8-track, and I would play Black Sabbath and AC/DC on it.
On
You know,
the
there's
track.
probably a market for them, bro. Now that I think about it, look at this. That's nice, dude.
But that's
It
like,
didn't look like that, man.
yeah, that was like a station wagon looking thing.
Yeah, the thing's a disaster.
All right. Anything else, guys? Any other cars we're gonna look up?
I had my first car was a '94 Integra.
That's a cool car, dude. I like those. That's the one you had all those stickers on?
No, I had the hood, the thing on the hood.
On this car?
No, the other one. The next one? No, go that one. That one, like that.
Those- There's a version of this that's super collectible, actually. The one with I guess they made one with a souped up engine. This is some Fast and the Furious type shit.
That's
What
that
happened
one.
to Acura, dude? Acura used to make some cool cars. The Integra, the
They
Legend. What was
Hey,
it?
I had the TL, man. I still have a TL.
Yeah, they make nice cars. The TSX.
They were like 40 at one time, and they kind of got away from sportiness and more into like luxury, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Acura became like the luxury line of Honda.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember the Acura Legend. That was a cool
You know who had one of these? Susie. This thing,
Acura Legend.
it was super, you know, luxurious when she had. I mean, at the time, it felt like a little bit less than a Mercedes, you know.
Like a Lexus type category thing.
Yeah, well, definitely. That's what it competes with, right? But the Legend, they I guess retired that or whatever.
Yeah, they went with like letters and numbers. I had a 1990 Honda Accord, which was like a cheap version of that.
I had a Honda Accord too. Actually, my wife did.
My shit looked like that.
It was green though, with beige leather interior.
I had black two-door with beige, but that shit didn't last long. Something like that. All right, guys. We've been going. Damn, it's been 2 hours. Anything else you guys want to hit on before we go? I think I hit all. I'm going to give out some shout-outs. Well, shout-out to all you guys for joining me. Thank you. Gio for our logo and shirts. Highly couldn't be here, but I'm sure he'll be here soon.
Hey, I'm sorry. How many shows do I have to do before I get one of the T-shirts? Damn it!
I'll put you on the list, bro. We're gonna get you on there. Don't you worry. And you too, Jonas. I got you too, bro. As soon as, if Gio's watching, I'll put the order in right now. Get me some shirts. We'll get the size and shit, so we'll get them. So yeah, man, that's it, man. It's been fun, dude. You guys got anything else you want to hit on before we go?
I guess in closing, just for me, happy anniversary to the many people that have been involved with the show. Obviously, great job. Always enjoy coming on and talking with you guys, whatever configuration there may be. Cheers to all, and hopefully a few more anniversaries to come, right?
Hell yeah, man. I want to do some more shit. It's fun to just come and talk some shit. Corvairs would blow up. I don't remember. That was a Chevy, right? A Chevy Corvair. Edwin saying
Hey, that was kind of a neat little car, those Corvairs.
Let's look that up real quick before we go. A Chevy. I think it was a Chevy.
It was a little unusual. Not too many people had those.
Is this it?
You're not sharing.
Oh, sorry. Add to stream.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know these caught fire. They're actually pretty cool, dude.
Yeah. I only saw a couple of them. Not too many people had them. They were
That brand is cool, man.
You remember the Karma Gias? If I'm saying that correctly?
Say it again.
Carmen Gia, was it? You remember those things?
Carmen Diaz? Is
Carmen Gia, was it? I may be saying that wrong.
that a car?
Not Carmen Diaz.
You're talking about Carmen Electra?
No, it was a car. Carmen. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
She looks pretty good still.
Carmen Gia. Try that. There it is. Yeah. It was like a fake Porsche.
James Bondish. This looks like instead of James Bond, Juan Diaz would drive it.
Was it a Volkswagen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the correct spelling.
There you go.
Yeah.
I kind of got into trucks lately. Dodge Viper truck V10. You guys ever heard of this thing?
Nope.
It had the Dodge Viper engine, but it was a pickup truck.
Jesus.
V10. I think it got like 8 miles per gallon. But the cool thing about it is it had the same engine that like the Dodge Viper.
Every time you stepped on the accelerator, it was like flushing a toilet.
Yeah, $10 just for stepping on the accelerator. But pretty cool super truck.
And the Geo Metro?
Oh, dude, I'm so glad you mentioned that. I wanted to talk about that car. Who remembers that car?
I do remember that car.
Here's the thing about the Geo Metro, bro, and there's still like a following on this car. There's a version of this that gets like 40 to 50 miles per gallon, dude.
It's basically a battery.
I think Elisa had this. I think it's a V3, bro.
Doesn't this fall into the whole Hugo, or what was that? Was it a Hugo?
I think that was a car.
It was like a whole line of
Gallon.
very cheap cars.
Look at this thing, dude.
It's a death trap.
Look at this.
The original smart car.
It's all about the MPG on that thing. So, all right, I've had too many drinks. I'm not even gonna play music. All right, guys. Anything else before we go?
And no, dude, it was just good to be back here. I know it's been 7 months, and it feels like I hadn't left. So really cool. Glad to be here.
7 months again, bro. Let's do it again soon, man. It was fun, guys. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for everybody who watched. Thanks for joining me, you guys, and we'll see you next time. All right.
Have a good one.
Peace.
See ya.